Hey, what's up now?
Brother, what's up?
This is a groovy party, man.
Yeah,
I
brother,
can
like,
dig it.
stop. Right on.
Hey, man, what's your name?
Good morning and welcome to the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. You can text us at that same number. Hey, good morning to you, Cardi. How you doing, man?
Man, Earl, I'm feeling very good today, man. Just want to extend a warm welcome and birthday wish to my wife, man, Miss Dee Dee Glisper, man. She's doing pretty good, man. She turns 31 today.
Well, happy birthday to your bride and uh 31.
Yes.
31. Can I even think back that far? But anyway, man, congratulations and happy birthday. It's Thursday, and that means we are officially in the pharmacy with the one and only Dr. Omar, the pharmacist. Good morning to you, Dr. Omar. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, Earl. I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing. I'm melancholy. I'm like the weather.
Yeah. Well, I say the weather prepping is, but the weather is prepping for the summer. What can I tell you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Spring.
you can say that because you're constantly out of the weather and into some warm weather where the sun is shining. It really does matter, doesn't it?
It does matter for sure. Everything matters, Earl. How you feel about the day matters. And but I think the warmth of our hearts can get us through because you just get from the car to the building, from the building to the car, wherever you're going. It is importance of like exercising and going out and seeing the sun. All of this helps for sure, but we have to always look at the pros and cons of every place we live in, right?
You know, Dr. Omar, um, you and I are going to have a conversation, that we constantly have, and this is this ongoing battle that we have with weight and how to lose weight, how to keep it off, and the battle is always, predicated on the fact that we watch television and they've got all of these things that they show you to get you to buy them, and at the root of all of it is money. They're not concerned about whether or not it's healthy for you or not. I mean, I used to look at, they have the triple burgers, triple pound burger. Look, three three 3 pound burgers or whatever it's called. I don't know, what do you call them? What is it?
Oh my God.
Three ounces or what? I don't know.
Some triple
Oh,
burgers, man. I'll be
yeah,
eating.
pounds. Yeah, quarter pound, three times, and you got these big sloppy burgers and grease is running off of them, and there's cheese on them, Dr. Omar, and man, and it just, oh man, it looks great, right? And you're looking at that and you're saying, wow, man, I gotta get one of those. But you don't realize it's not good for you.
It is the problem is like when you leave your work and you go home, you have to think how many fast food chain I'm going to stop by, how many Dave's Hot Chicken, how many uh yeah, it's just like a lot, right? You don't see a lot of places selling broccoli on your way home.
No.
So, you know, so all of this noise in your head that tell you like I want to eat quarter pounder when I go home, it's for a reason. You covet what you see every day. You want to have this delicious burger because you see a lot of commercials on it. And that is one of the problems we're having, and one of the problems that are being solved by the injectable GLP-1 agonists is that it helps to stop the noise of the food in our heads. And when we are under stress, when we're not sleeping enough, and we are malnourished and we go through this kind of yo dieting, I'm going to go between not eating for long hours and then suddenly binging eating for like whatever, and then decide, oh, and now I'm going to decide to lose weight because I saw this kind of ad on that program. Moving between like inconsistent ways of living get us to what I call metaflammation. It's a term that talks about metabolic inflammation that was first coined and used, I think, 2006 or 2007 in a research about how the low-grade inflammation in our bodies keep building until it gives us results of diabetes, cardiovascular events, and being obese and overweight. And then we start to look for the solution, but to find one solution, we have to look at the layers of the health problems that we have been accumulating over the years, and the solution is not going to happen in 1 or 2 weeks. So it needs patience, understanding, looking at the whole scope of our health, and then we can find solutions to our health crisis.
Dr. Omar, it's the longer you live, the more you realize, when you're younger, you can kind of get away with some of those things. Uh, your system is fresh and it's working like a well-oiled machine. I guess it's just like an automobile. When you first buy that beautiful car and you make sure you put all the right things in it, you're not putting cheap gas in it. You're making sure you're getting the oil changed on time, and you're making sure the tires are. It's a brand new automobile, and so you're cognizant of what you need to keep it operating at its peak. At its peak.
Yeah.
So it is with your body, I guess. The older we get, we just we're not able to get away with the things that we were able to get away with when we were younger. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, our body is resistant enough to a lot of the metabolic changes that we do, a lot of the insults that we incur over the years. And then at a certain point, you just kind of have a cup that you're overflowing with problems. And then suddenly you're just kind of in the Grand Canyon, and only one push gonna pull you down. So you have to kind of stop and look back and not worry about opening this door that's going to show you the real issues that you're going through. So that's why don't seek the solution to your problem with just a prescription. Seek for seeing the full picture of your health, and then you can do something. And you have to start today. And you start today by looking at the future, not just looking at the past, what you failed on doing. Look at the present moment and the future you in 1 and 2 and 5 years. You're going to find a lot of things that you can do, because everyone that achieved something was in a dark spot someday, but they looked at the future and the present moment and they found how much they can do.
Dr. Omar, what is this? This is March. We're heading towards April. People made all these commitments. I'm going to get healthy this year. And at the beginning of the new year, I'm going to eat right. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do all those things. Well, those resolutions have long since passed. And
Yeah.
and so people really had good intentions when they said those things, but it's more than a notion to get healthy, right?
Yeah. It's more than a notion to get healthy. It is being healthy, you can translate it to happiness. Because if you're healthy, your body is healthy, you're mentally healthy, your soul is healthy. So it's kind of systems. It's not just to overcome high blood pressure or lower your A1C. Being healthy, we can translate it in today's terms of physical living. It's very precious, and we have to do everything we can to stay healthy. And Earl, I see people investing tremendous amount of money to get this injection or this new pill or this new medication that will help them with their headaches. And then there might be simpler, cheaper solutions, but they need more proactivity in order to get them going. And sometimes it's just we have to measure your magnesium, and we see that you have no magnesium because you don't eat any leafy greens or any kind of vegetables. So we have to get you some of those. So just figuring out what's going on is very important, and that's why I tell patients who are seeking health to always start with getting direction of making the right assessment, the right labs. If I'm going to do for exercising, and I have failed in exercising for the last 20 years, I need some guidance. I need a coach. I need an app, something to do different, you know?
You know, Dr. Omar, we're turning the page. Spring is on the horizon. And so this is a good time, right? I guess
It's
every time
perfect
is a
time.
good time, right? To
Yeah.
to commit to, changing your lifestyle.
Of course, every time is right time. But I think we are in the change of the seasons time that people are seeking new ways of living and do some changes. And also, we have some disturbing news about affordability of injectables for many people. So, figuring out other ways to stay healthy, other ways for people who are overweight to lose weight, that is something like it's a good topic to explore and find solutions.
All right, we're certainly going to delve deeper into that. It is Thursday at 8 o'clock. That means Thursdays with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, the proprietor of Welltopia and founder of Welltopia Pharmacy, Mech One Thingsville. You know, you're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, on the Earl Ingram Show. Any question or comment that you may have? Now is always the time when Dr. Omar's, in the pharmacy, and that's where you are now on the Earl Ingram Show.
Picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Right now. Right on. Right. Mother, everybody thinks we're at home. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply cause our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to bring some understanding here today. Oh. Pick it loud and pick it sound. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me. You can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Ooh. Right on. Right on. Right on.
Sharon.
The following content is not intended as medical advice. Always consult your own physician, pharmacist, or healthcare professional for your own healthcare concerns.
Bringing you a passion for health and wellness. Dr. Omar Uliwa is here to answer your pharmaceutical questions. Now, let's go in the pharmacy with Earl Ingram and Dr. Omar.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what is wrong. Was I unwise to leave them open for so long?
All right, welcome back to the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. That's 855-752-4842. Text us at that same number. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist. Questions or comments are certainly always welcome. Dr. Omar, how can people get in touch with you?
People can always give us a call at 262-429-9429, or they can send us, go to wiltopiarx.com and send us a message.
So you talk about, and one of the things that we certainly we're going to talk about today is the fact that these compounded injections that people were Manjaro, Wegovy, and the other names of those different meds that can lower your A1C and certainly cause you to lose some weight, are now going to be kind of, taken off the market unless
The
you
compounded
have to
version,
pay for them
yeah,
yourself.
there was like shortage. There was shortage, and that shortage from the manufacturing drugs of the commercially available medications. That shortage is being covered now, especially for the newer molecule, tirzepatide. There is something called a molecular patent on that tirzepatide. If the shortage goes away, no one can make or sell this molecule. So there's going to be only the Mounjaro and the Zepbound, and these are expensive drugs to get outside of the insurance, putting into consideration that many times the insurance doesn't cover these drugs. The prices go $1,000 plus to get it for 1
Per
month
month.
supply.
Yeah, 1
So
month.
yeah, patients were able to get the cheaper compounded version during the shortage that's like ending now, and they were paying maybe $250, $300 per month, which was affordable for many people. People were losing weight, and then suddenly this is taken away, and now we're freaking out what to do without these medications, seeking alternatives. And what I want to tell you is that big thing of how these medications work is that they just stop the noise of food. That, I'm hungry, I want to eat. So they make you eat less, make the food move slower in your GI, and that helps you to lose weight. Reality of thing, Earl, is that you can achieve results with addressing the core issue of your problem by looking at what I call the system biology approach. The gut health, what's happening in my gut? Do I have problem with what's called leaky gut? Food like particles are moving and causing inflammation in my body. Do I have issues in the gut that need to be fixed? Do I need more fiber? Do I have IBS and Crohn's? Do I have any of those gut issues that help us to extract the nutrients from the foods that we eat? Do I have food sensitivities, food allergies that I am not addressing? and I'm just eating. So that gets to be an important thing. Do I have challenges in my immune system, what I call immune imbalances? Because there are inflammatory markers. If I lower them down, my body will be less inflamed. So that immunity gets to be big important and making sure that I am in balance. There is the hormonal component. So are my hormones balanced, especially for perimenopause and menopause women? If they don't have enough estrogen and progesterone, that's going to cause them problems in weight loss and anxiety, sleep issues. Then there is insulin and blood sugar and A1C numbers that we can see creeping up every time we do the test with the doctor. All right. So lifestyle then kicks in. And how many hours do I get from sleep? And if I'm not sleeping enough, my A1C is going up and I'm going to get type 2 diabetes. So all of these things to compile it and say I'm going to take an injection, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And that's why I tell people it's time to do fresh lab work and kind of seek help for what else you can do beyond the injection to face your real issues with weight management, which is a healthier lifestyle that's going to make you see yourself in a better, healthier way, you know?
Dr. Omar, it's certainly one of those things that, people, it's not easy, right? I mean, none of this is easy. You're changing your lifestyle that you've grown accustomed to sometimes for over decades. And people want to do the right thing. The willpower aspect of it is I guess where a lot of it is kind of lost, right? I mean, it's easier to go ahead. You look at things and you say, well, I've been working at this and I'm trying and I've lost a couple ounces. So it's easy to get frustrated.
It is easy to get frustrated, but I want to tell you about a patient I met yesterday. He came and he's obese, all right?
So why
He's
don't you do this,
obese
Dr.
over.
Omar? Hang on a
Yeah,
second.
all right.
855-752-4842. You are officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist. He'll take any questions or comments. You're on the Earl Ingram Show.
That is greater than it seems. Look in my eyes. Tell me what you see. I get that right. Just saying it's too late for me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. times in my life I've been wondering why. Still somehow I believe we'd always survive. Now I'm not so sure you're waiting here. One good reason to try. But what more can I say? What's left to provide? You think that maybe it's over, only if you want it to be. Are you gonna wait for a sign? Your miracle. Stand up and fight.
All right, welcome back to the Earl Ingram Show. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, the proprietor of Welltopia Pharmacy. Dr. Omar, how can people get in touch with you?
People can always give us a call at 262-429-9429 or go to welltopiarx.com.
And while we're on the airwaves, you can always call and have a conversation with Dr. Omar over the air. Let's go to Ali from Northwoods. Hey, good morning to you, Ali. You say what?
Good morning. I have a question for the doctor. What would he recommend for somebody who has lymphedema and chronic joint pain? Would he recommend lab work or something, a particular lab?
So, Ali, when you call, you should turn your radio down because sometimes you hear that in the background. But you're okay. He heard you. Dr. Omar?
So lymphedema is like, it's a condition that has swelling in the lymphatic fluid buildup, all right? Can open happens in the arms and the legs, right? So the challenge is the management of reducing the swelling, improving the circulation, and complications. So it's very important to refer to a doctor who's going to be a vein specialist to see where is the lymphatic swelling that is happening and to find the best solution for ongoing to prevent the complications. So there are these specialists who are vein specialists, and there are several centers of them in Wisconsin and in other states, but that's where I would refer them first to know what's actually going on, to get clear imaging of how complicated it is, and then we would seek ways of reducing swelling, improving circulation, and that can happen with medications and supplements, and also the properly fitted compression garments to prevent worsening of the swelling.
Okay, thank you very much for your help.
Hey, Ali, thank you very much for the call. Thank you for listening. So, Dr. Omar, when you're talking about these Ozempic, Manjaro, and all these other miracle drugs that have come into vogue here recently, and you talked about the compounding of them, is there any withdrawal symptoms?
The main withdrawal symptoms of stopping the medication is going to be the noise of food coming back, and people will eat more often, and the only way that they were using in order to lose weight is going to be going away. So the challenge is like these medications are meant to work as you take them for weight loss. If you stop it, you don't lose weight anymore. But if we have approached the GLP-1 agonists from the idea of I want to manage my hormones, my stress, my gut health, my sleep cycle, and I found that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 5 or number 3 is I'm going to use the medication, but 1, 2, 3 is going to include eating healthier diet that's kind of guided by a dietitian, not just kind of eating broccoli or something, because diet and eating psychology is much deeper than that. So guidance is very important. So diet, exercise, you need guidance on exercising, and you don't have to have a personal trainer every time that you train. There are kind of training apps that are wonderful. I have to have clear lab work for what's going on, clear complete blood count, thyroid function, hormonal function, and many other, a list of lab work that is needed to see the nutrition deficiencies, if there is any mold toxins or any heavy metal toxicity that need to be addressed. What I want to tell you in simple terms is that these medications were meant to be a kickstart for a weight loss program, but they're not the end game. And with many doctors, actually, the patients don't go above the first or the second tier of the dosing because they're doing some other things that help their body. So if you are taking Monjaro or terzepatide 2.5 or 5 milligram, which is the starting 2 doses, many people don't want to go or don't need to go beyond the 5 milligram because they are already losing weight. And if they stop, there is replacement program to help them. So I think for people who are going to stop these medications due to cost, I would recommend that they would seek help from a functional medicine practitioner to figure out what else we can do, because we have a lot of options, but they're all customizable, and there are other supplements and medications that help to stop the noise of food, but they're just what works for you is not going to work for me. And that's why we tell people, okay, it's not the end of the road for your weight loss, because these medications were meant to help you to start the journey. And actually, I have many people who are calling me and telling me, you know what, we started this program. We wanted to take the Mounjaro and Ozempic for only a few months, but now we are on our own and we could keep the weight that we lost because we have identified that we had problems in our hormones that needed to be balanced, and we finally got our hormones balanced. So I would tell a woman on her prime years of 55 and 60, if you balance your estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, you're going to live the best days of your life. You're going to have a sharp mind. You'll be able to lose weight. You'll be able to sleep well, less anxiety. And the key is going to be balancing your hormones. So I'm talking about system of body, not just a health condition.
You know, Dr. Omar, is it safe to say, you know, people are addicted to alcohol, they're addicted to drugs, they're addicted to a lot of different things. Can you be addicted to food?
That's what we're having, yes. And this is planned and programmed because we see the food commercials everywhere. Like, as I told you, like you leave your work, you go to anywhere, and then you see all of these fast food chains that keeps the image in your brain.
Right.
Food, and they're very delicious. And there are scientists that create the most delicious M&Ms and the most delicious this and that. So we are all addicted to food, unfortunately, and going against this addiction needs a lot of work. I was just a quick story. I was coming back from a 3 days trip to my 4 kids and my wife, and I called them and I told them, I got for you sweets. Everyone has sweets, and they were so happy. So I went inside and I gave my first child, here's an apple. Second child, here's a peach. Third child, here's a carrot. They were looking at me, what are you doing, Dad? This is not sweets. I told them, you know what? You're not going shopping with me again. And 4 days later, they ate all of the fruits and the vegetables that I brought, because that's what was in the house. So I consider this a tough love. I don't want to buy them sweets because I see the implications of diabetes and what it can cause to our generation. Like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you would go to a classroom and you would just see just one child that's overweight, and everyone would be picking on them. Now you enter the classroom and you see half the class are overweight because of the kind of delicious food addictions that we've been programming our generations to come on, right?
You know, Dr. Omar, the 855-752-4842 is the number. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, and the proprietor of Welltopia Pharmacy in Mequon, Thingsville. You know, you really, the way you lay it out, 30 years ago, you contracted diabetes, it was a death sentence, right?
Yeah.
And even today, it's once they say you have diabetes, it takes the wind out of your sails, and you begin to think everything is a downward spiral from that point on. And you say, well, listen, I didn't intentionally do these things to myself, but it happened to me. And now, for the rest of my life, I've got to walk this tightrope, because really that's kind of what it is. If you don't understand what it is, right? I mean, if you talked about all the different stages, all the different things, different aspects of your body and the systems in your body that impact and affect the fact that you now have diabetes, and all of those different systems you've got to be aware of, and how they're working. Is it safe to say that?
Yeah, and it is not easy, Earl. So that's why we need guidance, because it can be overwhelming even to the clinicians. So diabetes is like diabetes, pre-diabetes, and you're normal. The challenge is like if you are having every time blood sugar is being checked and the numbers are creeping up, if it's the A1C is a number, there is an inflection point that they tell you now you're pre-diabetic, which is if A1C is 5.7. Then if it goes to 6.2, you're diabetic. But between 5.4 and 6.2, there is a range that a lot of things you could do to keep the numbers low. And you have to be told by your doctor that things are moving in the wrong direction. Now let's work on diet. Let's talk about food. How do you eat? How do you do this? How do you do that? Or if the doctor doesn't have time for that, which is 99% of the case is true, the doctor should refer you to a dietitian to see how your eating habits are affecting your probability to get diabetes soon. So it is safe to say that looking at our health conditions as chronic health conditions only is not enough to solve our health crisis.
855-752-4842. You're in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist. So, Dr. Omar, it's one thing to have it, diabetes, and it's hereditary. It's another one altogether when children at very young ages become obese, and you talked about it. You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't care where it is you see it, but that's in America. It's not like that all over the world, right?
It's all over the world, unfortunately. I remember,
oh, it is.
Yeah, it's everywhere now. This is happening because the American lifestyle of living and eating is infecting every country.
Dr. Omar, hang on. 855-752-4842. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, on the Earl Ingram Show.
You're waiting to hear one good reason to try. But what more can I say? What's left to provide? You think that maybe it's over, only if you want it to be. Are you gonna wait for a sign, your miracle? Stand up and fight. This is it. Make no mistake where you are. This is it. Your back's to the corner. This is it. Don't be a fool anymore. This is it. The waiting is over. No room to run. No way to hide. No time for wondering why. It's here, the moment is now, about to decide. Let him believe, leave him behind. Keep me near in your heart. here by your side. You said that maybe it's over, but if you don't want it to be, oh, what's in your love? Here's your miracle. Stand up and fight. This is it. Make no mistake where you are. This is it. You're going no further. This is it. Until it's all abandoned. No one can tell you what you love.
All right, welcome back to In the Pharmacy. Okay. Okay, good. Good.
She calls out to the man on the
All
street.
right, welcome back to In the Pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, on the Earl Ingram Show. You can always reach us at 855-752-4842. Dr. Omar, how can people reach you?
You can always call us at 262-429-9429 or go to wiltopiarx.com.
And Cardi, if people want to get, excerpts from this, how do they do it?
They could tap onto the live stream on YouTube at civicmedia.com, or they could check out the website at civicmedia.us to view the episode. Click on the Earl Ingram Show and look on this episode.
All right, let's go to Mary from Tulsa. Good morning to you, Mary. How you doing?
Morning, gentlemen. I'd like to ask Dr. Omar's opinion. I eat a healthy diet, but I still have quite a taste for sweets, and so I use the healthy sweeteners in my baking and my food choices like stevia, erythritol, xylitol. So is this okay, or should I be working on getting rid of this addiction to sweets, which is what I think of it as? Thanks very much.
So thanks, Mary. Stevia is okay to take. It's much healthier than sugar. So if you like stevia and you accept the taste of stevia, it's used as a sweetener in many of the powders in the professional grade supplements. And I'm fine with stevia, erythritol. They are much better than the other sucralose and other kind of high fructose corn syrup kind of sweetened foods. So stevia is okay per most of the scientists and doctors. It should be fine.
Dr. Omar, from the time we're children, we just, parents don't understand. And so we start getting things. I don't care what it is. It's always something that's sweet. And
Yeah.
and this and the business community knows what it's doing, right? It's not by accident.
Yeah. It is not by accident, and just want to decrease the sweets. And if we're going to eat it, we eat it as the last thing in the meal, not the first part of the meal. Like if you start your meal by getting the proteins and the vegetables and the salads, we have made a cushion in the gut. So when we eat the sweets, the absorption of sugar is going to be much less than starting the meal by eating something sweet when we're very hungry. We're going to eat less portions, and it's going to cause less effect on the spikes of the blood sugar, because what affects the blood sugar is the spikes, the shooting up to the sky of numbers of blood sugar after we eat the sweets. So what we can, if we cannot stop the sweets, we can just kind of regulate when we eat them. We can make sure that when we go to the department stores, we don't bring our children with us, because they're always going to be fighting on 5, 10 different things, and eventually the parent is going to give up to one or two things, you know. So it's an ongoing battle for the health of our generations.
You know, Dr. Omar, it really is just a hard thing to continue to wrestle with. But it's, you know, it's something that you have to, you know, people have overcome, you know, I used to smoke cigarettes. I can't even believe that I used to smoke cigarettes, but I was able to overcome smoking cigarettes. There's some things that I used to do in my life that I stopped doing because I knew long term that these things were not good for me. But man, that continued battle with the food aspect of it sometimes I think is even more difficult than giving up the cigarettes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, giving up the smoking is a great step for health, and we wish any smoker to quit. But there is several battles we have to go through, and God gave us the ability to do that. The human body and the human brain and the alignment of our will and our abilities of what we want to do. If we decide to do something, we will do it. So a lot of people have become better thinking of the present and the future, not just thinking about failures of the past. So I completely agree with you, and I really salute you for being able to get rid of that cigarette. This must have had a great impact in your life and in your health and in your feeling of your ability to do things, right?
Well, you know, I mean, I said that I had given up smoking 20 years ago, but my wife said, no, nah, it's been much longer than that, probably closer to 30 years ago. But,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, it did give me the willpower and the courage to know that you didn't have to be stuck in that reality, you know,
Yeah.
and so and the willpower to know that whatever it is, you can overcome it. Because what you're talking about, Dr. Omar, is willpower, information, and willpower. But number one, information. Everything that you're talking about points to information if you're going to change your life, right?
Right, exactly, exactly. Getting the right information, and we start with that. That's where we start.
All right, Dr. Omar, it's always good talking to you. We'll see you in a week, and hopefully it'll be a little warmer.
All right.
All right. You have been officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, on the Earl Ingram Show. Up next, it's your thing. We can talk about whatever it is your heart desires on the Earl Ingram Show.
Thank you.
'Cause it's another day for you. You and me in paradise. Think about it. She calls out to the man on the street. He can see she's been crying. She's got blisters on the soles of her feet. She can't walk, but she's trying. Oh, think twice, 'cause it's another day for you and me in paradise. Oh, think twice, it's just another day for you and me in paradise. lines on her face. You can see that she's been there, probably been moved on from every place, 'cause she didn't fit in there. Oh, think twice, 'cause it's another day for you and me in paradise. Oh, think twice, it's just another day for you, you and me in paradise. Just think about it. Think about it. It's just another day for you and me in paradise. It's just another day for you and me in paradise. Paradise. Ooh, just think about it. Paradise. Just think about it.
All right, give me 1 second. Oh, fuck. Why is it doing? Oh, dang. Okay. Fudge. Okay, we're good to go, Earl. My bad. 1 second. Let me bring this up. All right, go ahead. Wait. Sorry. All right, you're good.
Eager to stay updated on the latest happenings around you? Join me and our guest host, Sandy Williams, tomorrow as we delve into this week's events.
One more time. Let's dive.
Okay. Dive. Okay. Eager to stay updated on the latest happenings around you? Join me and my guest host, Sandy Williams, tomorrow as we dive into this week's events.
One more time.
Eager to stay updated on the latest happenings around you? Join me and my guest host, Sandy Williams, tomorrow as we dive into this week's events.
Perfect. Awesome.
cash, cold. That's what I need. Collectors, they ring my phone. They bother me when I'm not at home. Ain't got no time to be fooling around. Feet hit the floor, then I get on down. You see, I want money, lots and lots of money. I want the pie in the sky. I want money, lots and lots of money. So don't be asking me why. I wanna be rich.
All right, welcome back to the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. The phone lines are open. It's your thing. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Let's go to the phone lines. And Mary, good morning to you, Mary. You say what?
Morning, Earl. Hey, I'm calling in again with kudos for the Contrarian on Substack. I listened to them again this morning. They're on live 3 times weekly. It has Wisconsin's back, highlighting our election, our April 1st election, interviewing Ben Wickler this week, and posting, writings about Wisconsin's election on their site. And so I'd like to encourage people to reach out for they're also encouraging people to reach out for contact to become an election inspector on April 1st. And wow, Jennifer and or Norm are talking about coming to Wisconsin on April 1st in support of our election. It'd be great if they come, if they could be interviewed on civic media. So do check the Contrarian on Substack out. It has our back.
All right. Thank you very much for the call. I have to say this. Last year, I think there was something, I don't know, I forgot the number. Might have been $60 million spent in the state Supreme Court race, 59 million, somewhere around there. They're talking about almost $100 million will be spent by the time this is done in this race here in the state of Wisconsin. Man, what the hell is wrong with people, man? $100 million spent for a state Supreme Court race? Man, do you understand the impact that $100 million can have in the lives of people who struggle? $100 million. Donald Trump and his minions are talking about figuring out a way to cut support for homeless people, man, and food stamps. And yet we can spend $100 million in a race for one state Supreme Court justice. When does this madness end? Look, this nation is headed on a trajectory of no return. Nobody understands or nobody feels just how ridiculous it is to spend $100 million for a state Supreme Court seat. $100 million. Man. Well, we're spending too much money on feeding people. Oh, we're spending too much money on helping them with the heat during the winter. Yeah, well, we don't have enough money. We can't for health insurance, and people who don't have health insurance, we don't have enough money to keep the hospitals open. But we can spend $100 million on one state Supreme Court seat. Man, the nation is falling apart. Oh, it's already falling apart. And I don't know if anybody thinks this can continue. How can it possibly continue at this rate? So it went from 58 or 59 million with Justice Janet Protasiewicz's race last year to almost 100 million, almost doubled in 1 year. It's going to move even higher next year and the year after that. And people have no problem throwing that kind of money away. It has no value if you can spend it like that. And then on foolishness, look at the commercials. I mean, nothing that I see in those commercials is making me make a decision on who I'm going to vote for. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's nonsensical. Well, no, so-and-so, had a 5-year-old baby got raped, and so what does that have to do with anything? But yet they can spend throw away $100 million. My God. Let's go to Mark from Prairie du Sac. Hey, good morning to you, Mark. Hey, man, help me understand that.
I can't wrap my mind around it for doing that kind of thing. But I mean, it is just the ridiculousness of how much money is in politics. It has been a problem for a long time. The Supreme Court just made it worse when they passed Citizens United. One of my beefs is the rewriting of history, or just try to eliminate history with the whole thing, like at Arlington National Cemetery, where they're taking off removing the names of off the web pages of Black Americans.
Hey, man, Jackie Robinson, man. Jackie Robinson.
I guess they put his name back up again, but for all these other people, I mean, and they're renaming the forts back to the Confederate generals' names, but they say, well, no, it wasn't named after the Confederate general. It was named after this guy here who just happened to have the same name. And I call BS on that. I mean, I'm just, I've had a belly full. I mean, I heard this is not an original idea myself, but I mean, a commentator commented that this is getting to be like Chairman Mao, who had his Cultural Revolution and just kind of eliminated, Chinese history to remake it in his image and his idea of, his political image, what he wanted to see happen. And that's what we're seeing with Trump. I mean, that, we're supposed to forget the fact that the Civil War was fought over slavery. I mean, you look at the cornerstone speech by Alexander Stevenson, it was all about. He said, this is what it's all about. We're supposed to eliminate that, pretend that this stuff never happened. I mean, getting rid of DEI. I mean, what the hell is wrong with diversity, equity, inclusion? That means we're including everybody. That case out in Idaho now, that some teachers getting smacked around because she had a sign up, everybody is welcome here, and had the old. I mean, I remember those hand signs from back in the 70s. For God's sake.
You know what, Mark? Here's what they need to understand, because the so-called culture wars that they've come up with, and that people have jumped on board and support. Look, as a black man in America, watching what they're doing, trying to eliminate the history of what happened to blacks in this country, and then to turn around and say Native Americans and anybody other than white says something about the people who are pushing that. Okay? And so why are they trying to make those people who support that believe that, again, the only people on the face of the earth that count are people who are European and white and European? Is ridiculous. This nation is supposedly a melting pot, right? What America is, and I'll say it for the 100th time, is there isn't a nationality called an American. It's everybody. So you can't change the definition of what an American is because you're doing away with diversity, equity, and inclusion. How does that make you feel better, Mark?
It male. I mean, it's white male. That's the only thing that's supposed to be important. I mean, it is just why there are women that are supporting this stuff, because they're next on the list.
No question.
I mean, that it is just beyond me to. I'm 66 years old now, and it just is. I thought we'd put all this crap behind us, but I mean that these guys have been lying in the weeds, building up their resentments, able to exploit the resentments of these people, and they don't seem to realize that it's the aristocracy, once again, the aristocracy that brought us into the Civil War.
Hey, Mark,
because
you know what else they've done? They've done a great job of leading those people to the fountain and getting them to be concerned about culture wars. At the same time, they're trying to take away Social Security, taking away the Department of Education. They want people to be ignorant. They don't want the American people to be able to think. And so guess what many of the American people are doing? They're following exactly what they've set in motion, right? They don't want them to be able to think. They want to think for them. The people who are calling these shots. And far too many Americans have gone down that primrose path, Mark, and they can't get beyond it. They're looking at Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and now all of a sudden some of the people who voted for Donald Trump are starting to say, hey, wait a minute, I didn't vote for Elon Musk, okay? And I'm upset about that, but they don't understand Elon Musk wouldn't be doing what he's doing if it wasn't for the guy they voted for, Mark. Elon Musk got his juice from Donald Trump.
I mean, and Donald Trump promised in his first campaign back in 15, 16, that he was going to take on the rich. He was going to make sure the rich paid their fair share of taxes. Well, like BS on that. I mean, he's just going for more and more tax cuts for the guys. He wants to eliminate taxes because those guys aren't going to be paying anything.
Hey, Mark, thank you. Thank you very much for the call. It's your thing. We'll talk about whatever it is you want to talk about on the Earl Ingram Show. 855-752-4842. Coming right back to you on the phone lines.
I want money, lots and lots of money. I want the pie in the sky. Whoa, I want money, lots and lots of money. So don't be asking me why. I want to be rich. Oh, I want to be rich. Oh, I want to be rich. Oh, I want to be rich. Full of love, peace, and happiness. Everywhere rich. Love, peace, and happiness. I want all the things that God can do. 'Cause you're dreaming of how good it's going to be. You say you've been around, and now you finally found everything you wanted and needed in me. I don't have the heart to hurt you. It's the last thing I wanna do, but I don't have the heart to love you, not the way you want me to.
All right, welcome back to the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. It's your thing. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Let's go to Thomas. Good morning to you, Thomas. What's on your mind?
Hi, Earl.
Yes, sir.
First, I just want to say, a billionaire makes us pay for his golf weekends, then tells us we can't have health, education, or science, or any of that stuff. It drives me nuts. But another topic with the Supreme Court thing, I'm getting a little of the really concerned. Yesterday or last night, I was watching Tubi. Every commercial break was Schimmel.
Yes.
And with the tops, the judges, and I know Crawford doesn't have that bankroll yet, but I've been saying this for weeks now. Where finally I'm seeing stuff about the rape kits not being taken care of and all that, but you're getting so saturated with Schimmel that it worries me. I'm hoping people will wake up to that.
Hey, Thomas, they're going to spend $100 million, man. Not 100,000, $100 million for one state Supreme Court seat. And yet we're cutting all these programs because we say we can't afford it. Man.
Right.
If you can afford to spend $100 million for a Supreme Court seat, here's the other side of that, Tom. What are they looking to get? Okay.
That's just it. That is it. What's in it for them?
Yes.
You can't spend. George Carlin said, you can't give somebody $100 million and expect them not to be owned by somebody who gave them $100 million.
Hey, Thomas, you're right on point. Thank you very much for the call. Up next, Jack from Racine. Good morning to you, Jack. It's your thing, man. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
Thank you, Earl. Good morning. You're having a wonderful show today. Some great comments. I started off wanting to talk about the money in politics that you've come back to, and I'm thinking throughout my life there's been numerous efforts to get money out of politics and have public funding and regulate the amount that's spent on, usually by the Democratic Party and independents, and opposed by the Republicans, and we're seeing why. Since just today, they can dominate the money hunt to pay for ads and things, as that gentleman was just talking about. So, it's a shame, but they got control of the Supreme Court. They got Citizen United, made corporations people. We don't know who actually is putting money into these things, but I guess we know we got Musk putting in $10 million for Schimmel. That should tell people something, that Schimmel is Musk's man. And but there's an outrage every day. I mean, I just read that the Disabilities Act is being changed.
Absolutely.
Federal order, 11 parts of the Disabilities Act. So where businesses don't have to accommodate people with disabilities in different ways anymore because of that. Social Security, they're cutting Social Security departments, so people have to go miles and miles to get to Social Security to do simple things they could use on the phone because they're stopping phone contact.
Yes.
It's just an unbelievable situation. I mean, and I heard a figure that I think is put up by congressman from Connecticut, which has a lot of insurance companies. He said, I know something about insurance. He said the cost of the Social Security for administration is 1%.
Yes.
1% of it. He said that in insurance companies for health insurance, that starts at 16% and goes up in terms of the cost of administration. So they're going after these institutions because they philosophically and financially don't agree with them. They'd rather have that money in their private fund, in the Social Security Trust Fund. And by the way, he had one last figure is about $2.3 trillion that they're looking for tax breaks for primarily wealthy people. Guess what? That's what money in the Social Security.
4.5 trillion is what they're looking for. But here's 4.5.
So,
but here's the other side of all that, Jack. Here's the other side of it. They're saying, hey, the majority of the American people don't like Elon Musk. And even the MAGAs, they don't like Elon Musk. And Elon Musk didn't get elected by the people. But man, Elon Musk is sitting at the right hand of Donald Trump. There wouldn't be an Elon Musk if Donald Trump didn't sanction him. So I don't know how you can say it's not Donald Trump, it's Elon Musk. Donald Trump gave Elon Musk that position of power. And so it's only Donald Trump who can remove him. So for those people who keep saying, well, the majority of the American people don't like Donald Trump. Don't like Elon Musk. Hey, talk to the guy who you put in office. That's his guy. 855-752-4842 is the number, guys. Hang on. It's your thing. Do what you want to do on the Earl Ingram Show. We'll talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
It's the last thing I want to do, but I don't have the heart to love you, not the way you want me to. You're so trusting and open, hoping that love will start, but I don't have the heart. Oh no, I don't have the heart. I don't have the heart to hurt you. It's the last thing I wanna do. I don't have the heart to love you, not the way that you want me to. I don't have the heart. Baby, I don't have the heart. I don't have the heart. I don't have the You ain't crazy, I'm gonna lie more. What you're feeling, there's a reason for. I wanna do right. Oh, gotta do right. Do I love you? Oh, you know I've tried. But what you after, can't find in my eyes. I'm gonna do right. Oh. Darling, tell the truth. Don't turn away. This is our last chance. Take others' heart. 'Cause anything lasts forever. I don't know. Maybe we're near the end. So darling, no. How can we go on together? Now that we've grown apart, we'll be on the way to start.
All right, welcome back to the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. Text us at that same number. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Let's go to Brendan. Good morning to you, Brendan. You say what?
I just want to talk about the hypocrisy and the actual racism that comes directly from the Oval Office. 3 points. The bill that has just signed, no longer making it mandatory for segregation with government contracts. This is a slow walk right back towards white fountains and black bathrooms. Then I want to talk about, just mention the hypocrisy as far as the treatment of women. This idiot brought the Tate brothers back to the United States of America. They were trafficking people, okay? They're trying to get MAGA, the core MAGA, the racists, the bigots, the core MAGA, not all MAGA people, okay? Because a lot of MAGA people wanted what he was lying to them about, and I get it. But they're trying to get this officer who killed George Floyd in front of the whole country. They're trying to get him sprung free, okay? So this, I had mentioned this 6 months ago or so, that the racism of this party is the core and the glowing ember that we need to put out, okay? And this is what's going on in our country right now. They're trying to erase Black history. They're trying to push misogyny upon us, and it's got to end. And we need to stand shoulder to shoulder with LGBTQ people, black, white, yellow, brown. All of us need to get together and stand shoulder. Look at what happened in Belarus a week ago. Over 40,000 people got together in the city and were chanting together. That's how change is done. And we got to start now, because this idiot is just lost his mind and thinks he can do whatever he wants. And now he's actually controlling the purse strings because we signed the CR. And there was no good decision to be made there. But we got to get together, people.
You know, Brendan, man, thank you for being so forthright, because you just pointed out what's at the root of all of this. And there are far too many Americans who won't admit it, and who hide behind that veil of this is DEI and affirmative action is discriminatory to white men. And anybody who supports that, come on, man. You know, you can't tell me that they really believe that. Okay? The facts don't point any of that out, yet they're all, those who are supporting Trump and what they are doing are all going along with that foolishness, man. You know, and so what do they think is going to happen in this country? Do they think that we're going to go back to a time, you know, when blacks were treated in the manner that we were historically? It's not going to happen. And they're just opening this whole thing up for a confrontation, man, that is not going to be good. And so for those who support Donald Trump and his racist tactics, you know, it's not going to be good, man. You're destroying this nation, And we're not going back. Okay? We're not going back. Thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it. Cindy, you're up next.
Hey, Earl. Well, I give Tammy and Mark Buchanan some credit for doing their little tours, but where the hell were they last week when Chuck Schumer voted for this stupid bill? And what are they doing in Washington, D.C.?
You know, I've always talked about politricks and politricksters. And, you know, when you're more concerned, Cindy, about your seat, then something is wrong. And that's on us. That's on us, the voters. When the people that we elect can't stand up and speak the truth about what's happening in the nation because they're concerned about losing their seat, they deserve to lose their seat. It's just not about protecting their seats. I don't give a rip about them and their seats. I'm concerned about what's in the best interest of the American people. Go ahead, Cindy.
Nope, that's all I had to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Let's go to Ann. Hey, good morning to you, Ann. You say what?
Good morning, Earl. The bottom line is it's all about the rich getting richer, and anyone that voted for Trump is a racist, period. And we'll see how racist Wisconsin is after this election. I think Trump wants a civil war right here to arrest all the black and brown people and any white person that didn't vote for him, because he probably has all that information. So we need to fight back. And, you know, with Schimmel, like saying already worried about voting being a fraud, when they're the ones that don't want to count the votes as they come in, they want to wait for the mail-in ballots. That was all on them. But then once again, they're going to make it like it was a left problem.
You know,
So
Ann,
that's all
well, you said a lot because that's exactly what Republicans are talking about now. If the race is fair, what the hell are they talking about? If the race is fair, you know. So when Donald Trump won, when they win, no problem. Okay, yep. But when they lose, they're like a bunch of children. They didn't get their way. Thank you very much for the call, Ann. Who's up next? Susan from Kenosha. Good morning to you, Susan. You say what?
Oh, good morning. I actually thought what Brandon said was correct. And we need to get together as a group, and we need to stand firm. I do not like this fact that we are giving in left and right to the mega crowd. We are losing our Constitution, as I said, and the rule of law. And we are not sheep. We have fought for this country, and all people have fought. Women, people of color, the Navajo code talkers. If it wasn't for them, we could be speaking Japanese now. People don't realize that this country is based on all people. It's we the people. It's not white people only. It's we the people who make this country strong and survive. And so now we need to get together, and we need to stand firm and say we've had enough. Enough is enough. And we're not going to accept this anymore.
You know
what?
Well, Susan, you said a mouthful. Thank you very much for the call. Let's go to John. Good morning to you, John. You say what?
Earl, you're not going to want to hear this, but you probably are the biggest racist I've ever heard of. And every time things don't go your way, you pull out the race card. It's race this, race that. And you play it so much,
hey, John.
It doesn't mean anything
Hey, John,
anymore.
let me say this to you. It doesn't mean anything to you, okay? But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything to the rest of us who've been here longer than you. And so let me say this to you, man, because
I'm not quite so sure.
Well, but let me say this to you. The people who are coming up with doing away with the history of this nation is not Earl Ingram, okay? It's Donald Trump, it's MAGA, and people like you. So to say that I'm playing a race card, you know, Donald Trump is holding the race deck. He knows where the card is if I'm playing it. And so conservatives and people like you know where that deck is. And so if I'm playing a race card, stop holding the racial deck. Okay? So
well, come up with something else, because that's all.
Let me ask you something. Do you think racism exists in this country, man?
Sure it does, but not to the degree that you're claiming.
Okay, so what degree? So educate me. So educate me. So educate me. To what degree does race play a role in this country? Educate me, because I don't know.
Well, that's not my argument.
I know. So you say it's not your argument because you don't have an argument. Because you're not a person of color.
You are a racist.
Let me say this to you, man.
Argument, Earl.
You are not a person. Let me say this to you. You are not a person of color. You don't understand. So black people make up 12% of the population in this country. 5% in the state of Wisconsin. Don't tell me that I'm a racist. Okay, I've lived 70 years in this country. I've lived 70 years in this country. You said what?
I've probably worked in the inner city longer than you have. Okay, 15th in Keith, 12th in North. I've been there for 20 years, my friend.
Hey, did I just tell you, man, I'm 70 years old and I still live in the inner city? So how are you going to live in that longer than me? You said what?
And one other thing.
No. I'm just disputing the foolishness that's coming out of your mouth. You can't compare.
Earl,
you can't
spew racist, Brand.
Why am I a racist? Explain to me what makes me a racist.
Okay, because whenever there's a problem, whenever things don't go the liberal way, they throw out racism. You know they do that. They've been doing this for over 50 years since I've been around on this planet.
Oh, so you've been on the planet for 50 years. You've been on the planet for 50 years, and you're telling me about racism. You know what?
Oh, said since I could.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this to you, man. You know, you have a right to your opinion. You're blind, and I get it. You can't feel. You can't deal.
Calling and attacking will get you nowhere. Calling and attacking gets you nowhere.
I'm attacking you.
That's what you do. This is your program. Your program's entertaining. I listen to it because it entertains me. But when you shoot off and make everything, fear this, fear that, whitey this, conservative this, we're out to get you. Man, that's not what I look at when I see.
I know, but John, hey John, have you not noticed that there are whites just like you who call in and they say the exact opposite of what you were saying? Have you noticed that?
It's quite a few.
Huh?
I really don't know.
I know what you can't you can't speak now? Okay. So what do you call the whites who call in and dispute what you're saying? What do you call them? Racist?
Who dispute that you're
No. The whites who call here and say that there's racism and bigotry in this country. What do you call them?
No, I agree with that. I don't agree how you put it that everything is that problem. You didn't hear me say everything is that problem, man. You have never heard me say that. 855-752-4842 is the number. You're tuned into the Earl Ingram Show.
You ain't crazy, I'm gonna lie anymore. What you're feeling, there's a reason for. I wanna do right. Oh, gotta do right. Do I love you? Oh, you know I've tried. But what you after, can't find in my eyes. I'm gonna do right. Darling, tell the truth. Don't turn away. This is our last chance. Take each other's heart. 'Cause anything lasts forever. One by one, we're collecting lies. When you can't give the love, you give alibis. Now I'm gonna do right. This time I got to do right. Darling, tell the truth. Don't die no way. This one last chance. Don't you tell us how. Anything lasts forever.
All right, welcome back to the last few minutes of the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. You know, the last caller who said, I listen to you because you're entertaining. Oh, hey, man, I'm not here to entertain. If you're entertained by what I'm doing, fine. But, we're talking about the truth. Let's go to Tom from L.A. Tom, you're up.
Well, Earl, first off, I want to wish Mrs. Cardi a very happy birthday.
Thanks,
and I
man.
hope that Cardi's playing that music to kind of put her in that sweet love mood. So good for you, Cardi. Second, as I say every day on this show, and why I keep repeating it, we the people ultimately are the government. I also keep repeating, not just around election time, but every day, that we need to get money out of politics and we need to get lobbyists out of politics every single day, pretty much ad nauseum. But this dude had just called up. I'm going to call him un-American. He is an un-American person. He is a joke. What, because Earl is a black man? That's why he talks about race all the time? Hell no. Earl never hardly talks about race. The only way Earl even talks about race is the fact that he is a black man and he is a host of this show. How dare you, sir? You have no decency. You might as well go back with McCarthy. You might as well go back with Hitler and Trump, because that's where you belong. I guess nowadays what's going to become is just because you're a black person, you're automatically going to be a racist.
Well,
Remember this, Earl. When Republicans feel it, they are doing
Well, Tom, you've listened to me for many years. How often do you hear me talking about race? Thank you very much for the call, man. I wish I had more time. Up next, Mike from Kenosha. Good morning to you, Mike. You say what? Mike, you're up.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm going to hop over John's comments because they're just obnoxious. But what's really critical, getting back to what you were talking about before, is $100 million for the race for the Supreme Court here in Wisconsin shows all of us here in Wisconsin just how critical Wisconsin is in this whole fight that we're going on across the nation and globally. Wisconsin is the heart of the democracy. It truly, truly is. The Wisconsin idea was what was utilized by FDR and Teddy Roosevelt to break up monopolies and then get our nation back on track again. The Wisconsin idea. So they recognize that by spending, and they'll spend $200 million if that's what they think it's going to take. So just think about this for a second, people. When people can, when others can just continue to throw massive amounts of money. And by the way, whose money is it? Who knows? It's dark. We subjugated our responsibility to track accounting fundamentals. So we don't even know where the money's coming from. If this is all on we the people, we got to be better than this. And the last point real quick is we are existing in a failed trickle-down economics
No question.
called Reaganomics. Reaganomics. We're here because the economy is fine, but the pie slices are way out of whack to where it's all going one direction.
Hey,
and
Mike.
it's not we the people, it's going to the 1%.
Mike, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Let's go to Mark from Racine. Mark, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And that guy charging you with racism is pretty demented.
That's all right, man.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
Ralph Nader has a suggestion that I think is very worthy. He's saying that the Democrats in the House and Senate could have unofficial hearings, and I presume an official hearing needs to be totally bipartisan, et cetera. And their hearings could point out what they would like to have, right, like raising minimum wage to at least $15 per hour. 85% Americans support taxing the rich. They could talk about that. They could also point out all the illegal Trump executive orders and unconstitutional executive orders. In other words, it would make for some press. And yes, admittedly, they don't have the votes, but they can draw attention. I mean, you and I, et cetera, and these listeners, we know what's going on. But the John and the Jane Does,
Mark, I wish I had more time, man, but thank you very much for the call. But let me kind of say this. $59 million spent last year for a state Supreme Court seat. Over $100 million a year later. And people are starving in this country. And they're getting ready to take even more away. And Tom is right. Money in politics, that's the Republicans' deal, man. That came through Republicans. Okay? So they can say whatever the hell it is they want to say. In the end, they're the ones who sanctioned it. They're the ones who said, okay, let's go with it. Republican idea. So if you're a Republican, look in the mirror, man. You guys created that. Well, the Democrats are spending a lot of money too. Yeah, but who created it? So $100 million this year. Next year, what? $150 million? There's going to be another Supreme Court race next year. It's jumping up in increments of $50 million at a pop. Hey, man, and you're taking away food stamps. 855-752-4842. Thank everybody who made the show go. Thank you, Cardi. Up next, Jane Madnet, Greg Bach, Madner on air. Tune in tomorrow for me and Sandy Williams and I, and we'll continue the conversation.